Premier of the province, together with the executive members, 2 MECs, Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, Honorable Mkhize, accompanied by other members, your Honorable Direko, Honorable Sompa, Honorable Ndamase, Honorable Zail, Honorable Labus Karne, Honorable Mtola, Honorable Buthelezi, Honorable Mkalipa, Honorable Van Veek, Honorable Spice, Honorables Mwali, Honorable Majuna, Honorable Jose, Honorable May, Honorable Auntie Kossen, Honorable Matlala, Honorable Kubeka, Honorable Nkuna, and Honorable Nontenja, ladies and gentlemen, and honorable member of the legislature. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all welcome to this joint oversight visit by the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance, SCOPA and SAOC, joined by the Northwest Province Legislature. As we officially open and declare this session open, let us remember that we will struggle for the next 3 days, meaning our energy and participation will be fully required at all costs. Honourable members and all, this visit comes amid negative reports we hear day in, day out about the state of our municipality countrywide. Indeed, the centre pivot is not holding at all. When we refer back to the Good Governance, Africa's latest annual governance performance index, which was released last year in March 2024 after 3 full years of absence, it clearly shows that most of our municipality state of undertaking need urgent attention. The GPI measure how good or bad individual municipalities have been performing based on 40 indicators under 4 primary categories. I must say that the picture findings are quite unsatisfactory. Henceforth, we're here to find solution and move with speed in making sure that we take service to our masses. Honourable members, the Northwest Province is not an exception to all these teething problems facing our municipality. That is why we are here today. We are in intensive care unit as service delivery machinery in the province. And it's critical and also disappointing that the human rights of our community are violated on a daily basis. And we must take the bull by its horn. We must say it as it is. In protecting is not going to help because we will never find solution to our problem. All of us in here are on a fact and solution finding mission. Now let us all do justice to all the processes. The state of municipality can only improve if we all pull in one direction. And I believe that the team present here today will, after 3 days, have changed the status quo in the Northwest Province landscape. Your input and expertise will surely steady the ship into correct shores. Once more, everybody is
and the Standing Committee on the Auditor General, the Premier of the Province, and the MECs present, members of the legislature, mayors, councillors, municipal managers, and members of the public. To the northwest. Before I proceed, I wish to introduce the members of our delegation from the National Assembly. My name is Zwelini Mkhize. I'm the chairperson of the portfolio of COCTA. In my delegation, we have a number of members of the National Assembly. On my left is Honorable Direko, who will show her hand. And let me just go through my list, so we'll ask the members to indicate where they are seated. Honorable Sompa Masiu, Honorable Pumelele Ndamase, Honorable Anna Maria van Zyl, Honorable Kathleen Labuskaghne, Honorable Peggy Mtolo, Honorable Zwelakhe Mthethwa, Honorable Buthelezi has apologized on the basis of ill health, may join us a bit later. Honorable Mukhalipi will be joining us a bit later. She's on her way because of other engagements. Honorable Saint van Wyk is present. And the members from the Standing Committee on Auditor General, Ms. Eleanor Spies. Oh, okay. Mr. Sanele Mwali, Mr. Ntando Maduna, Ms. Tinswalo Joyce Bila, Ms. Helen Neil May. She's not here yet. Okay, she'll be joining us. Mr. Patrick George Atkinson. Okay, she'll be joining us. Mr. Patrick George Atkinson. Mr. Talente Kupega. Ms. Ntombo Vuyo Mente Nkuna, she will be joining us a bit late. She's in another engagement. Ms. Thandiwe Nontenja. Now, I just need to check if I've missed out any member. Okay, thanks. That is the delegation from the joint committees of Parliament. And we are here to conduct an oversight visit, which we call a joint oversight visit. In Parliament, a consolidated general report on local government outcomes in respect of 2023-24 financial year, with a key message that the poor audit outcomes trend the areas of poor and slow responses to investigating allegations of financial and supply chain management misconduct, fraud indicators, not investigating and not properly dealing with unauthorized, irregular, and fruitless and wasteful expenditure, and material non-compliance with legislation on consequence management. Poor political and administrative leadership with legislation on consequence management. Poor political and administrative leadership or performance of the local government level. And the AG noted that the desired impact of the national and provincial interventions to help financially distressed municipalities to deal with their challenges had not yet been realized. And the support had to be intensified. This matter was discussed with the Speaker and the Joint Committee chairpersons to look at a way of how to address this matter so that last year's reported outcomes and this year's reported outcomes are no longer the same as what will come in the next reporting cycle. Pursuant on tabling this report, the Portfolio Committee resolved, therefore, to modify its oversight strategy, which ultimately had to involve all the three committees and ensuring that we ensure the participation of the three spheres of government in the issues of accountability, involving the executive at provincial and local levels, as we had been all along focusing on the executive at national level. Mindful of cooperative government and intergovernmental relations, portfolio committees at the provincial level. This is in line also with the Auditor General's recommendation to the effect that ministers and members of the Executive Councils responsible for finance and local government, together with Parliament and provincial legislatures, should enhance their intervention and oversight to achieve tangible improvement. So we have therefore requested various leaders at the provincial level, specifically because of their responsibility in the Constitution. The Premier, in terms of Section 1251 of the Constitution, that vests provincial government executive authority in the Premier's office. Section 155(c)(6) of the Constitution stipulates that the provincial government must, by legislative and other means, provide for the monitoring and support of local government in the province, and to promote the development of 343 of the MFMA stipulates that when performing its monitoring in terms of Section 155(c) of the Constitution, a provincial government must share responsibility with a municipality the result of its monitoring to the extent that those results may assist the municipality in improving its financial management. And two, upon detecting any emerging or impending financial problems in a municipality, they must alert the municipality of those problems and may assist the municipality to avert or resolve their financial problems. In terms of Section 155(7) of the Constitution, provincial government and national government, subject to Section 44 of the Constitution, has the legislative and executive authority to see effective performance by municipalities of their functions in respect of matters listed in Schedule 4 and 5, regulating the extensive exercise by municipalities of their executive authority referred to in want to know about the consequence management exercise. We also want to know the corrective steps that have been taken to rectify the transgressions identified in the 2023-24 Auditor General Municipal Finance Management Act report. We'd also like to ask what are the future an accounting platform where these corrections will be monitored, and also anticipated actions to be taken if the preventative or targets are missed. Issues that have been raised by the Auditor General include municipal performance reporting deficiencies. In fact, here the report was that of the supplied by 48% of the municipalities. The information that's given is doubtful whether it can be of useful benefit. The Northwest has been reported as one of the provinces where poor quality performance reports were most prevalent. Two, that issues of claimed outcomes from 9 in 2020-21 to 3. We want to discuss the 3 now. It is Timane, Baklo, local municipalities, which have been receiving disclaimed opinions for the last 8 years. This is 3 for Likwataimane and 6 for Atlo. The of disclaimers has been offset by an increase in qualified audit opinions. Then the number of adverse audit opinions involves Mamusa, Makwasi Hills, Magamdirim Lema, and these together received almost R1 billion of equitable share and about R500 million from other grants. Collectively, they managed the expenditure of 2.73 billion. They've got adverse audit opinions. Then there's a problem of weak oversight. Here we see that there's the lack of partnership amongst the 3 spheres in monitoring, and that's why you see things are falling into the gaps. The Auditor General raised a concern about the issue of very weak unfunded budgets. There are a number of municipalities in fact, funded budgets, and would like to not only resolve that issue, but also get the commitment of the MECs and the Premier, the Executive, in dealing with this particular issue. Then there are a number of other financially distressed municipalities where there's a problem of a going concern uncertainty, and these municipalities are City of Matlosana, Ditsobotla, Dr. Ruth Schomotsi, Mpati, JP Max, Khetleng Rifir, Likwati Mane, Madibeng, Mamusa, Makwasi Hills, and Naledi, Rustenburg, and Swaying. Then the other concern is that of lack of consequences. In terms of the 23-24 report, 53%, which is 132 municipalities, did not comply with legislation on consequence management. It's most evidence in the areas of poor or slow progress in investigation of the allegations of financial and supply chain issues. And this, again, we're going to be probing them with the necessary specificities. Increased reliance on financial reporting consultants. Here we've seen the use of consultants is still very rife, despite the fact that these reports are not adequate, but we're still paying consultants and not building internal capacity. There are other mandatory interventions, such as in Titsobotla and Ramusirimwila. Again, here we would like to get a lot more information about what is happening with regard to these interventions. Then, of course, the area of poor contract management, the number of municipalities have fallen foul on this one. Non-action on irregular expenditure, and these are issues that are a challenge. There are a number of other issues that relate to various allegations of corruptions, and we will need more details. For example, there's one that we'll still be interested in when the MEC reports that the MEC was reported to have failed to investigate corruption in trying, as raised by the minister. So we will need to get more information in that regard. So, there's a whole list, therefore, that the MECs are going to have to take us through on these issues in their reports. Having said so, Honourable Speaker, Honourable Members, and Honourable Premier and MECs, we did ask the municipalities and the MECs to give us reports. Normally we receive the reports ahead of our visit. I must say that the reports were quite unsatisfactory, if I may say so, Premier. They are unsatisfactory in the sense that we had indicated that there are specific questions that we need specific answers about, which were raised by the Auditor General. But we were hoping that the municipalities would give us broad enough information for us to understand the context under which they operate. This has not really happened. So what they would have done, they basically just responded to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 audit queries and gave no background information on the municipalities. Now, this for us is a bit of a disappointment. I must also say, if it was a normal test, I would have said that they probably dealt with it like a MCQ type, where you just mark the one that's got the answer closest to what you are being asked, and would not have considered more the essay type, which is where you demonstrate your knowledge of what you are dealing with. In this case, we don't have a sense of where each municipality is, what staff establishment it has, what income it has, what are the debts and the creditors management issues, what are the debts with water, electricity, utilities, what are the service delivery issues, what are the investigations which are going on with various issues of allegations of corruption, what issues of vacancies. So it makes it very difficult even to understand a simple answer that is given if you don't understand what the problem is. And I can just give you an example and say, if you've got a municipality that's got a disclaimer, it's been like that for several years and does not tell us that in fact it's so grant dependent and it only has difficulty attracting people because of its rural nature and poor status. It makes it very difficult to understand it's not just people failing to perform their tasks, because there's no background, there's no context. And I'm going to ask that through your office, may we request that they must provide us that information. Late as it is, we do want to know what's happening, and we need broader information. This is just general information which you can give it to us in like 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll have a better sense of your situation. We're going to ask each and every one of the municipalities to resubmit those reports so that we can follow when we understand exactly what the challenges are. There have been a lot of reports about water problems, about vandalization of infrastructure and all of that, and none of them have actually even tried to elicit any sort of sympathy in understanding what challenges they face. We don't have a sense, and so it's not possible that you can have 3 committees coming just to answer 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions that were raised by the Auditor General. Instead, what you would expect is that the environment in which they are operating so that you can deal with. It's quite another whether, in fact, they would have dealt in details with the issues of allegations, which are quite widespread in the media, which we would like them to give us specific answers on. Should give us that. We'll give them 5 minutes to give us a background on some of the issues which they consider relevant. Whatever they've already given us can be incorporated there, but the main thing is that we don't have a sense of how the municipalities are. If you are a visiting, even if you're a guest, somebody will just walk in and say, oh, welcome to such a place, it's this, it's that, and that, and you get some information. Here, there's nothing, zero, and that's a problem. And so it does give us a bit of a problem, because as you get a report, you get a sense of the determination of people to deal with their own challenges. Now, if you give as little information as possible, it already gives us a concern at what is it that we shouldn't be knowing about. And that becomes a problem. So, Premier, I'd like legislative provisions is to make it clear that at this point, we have taken the instruction of the Speaker of the National Assembly, who said you have to make sure that these interventions this time around bear fruit, and therefore the Premier and the AG will have a meeting afterwards to review what processes we've been through, and we need to be able to get back to them and say, yes, we've been to the Northwest Province. We can in the Northwest that would have failed to submit annual financial statement by the due date yesterday. We would have, as we leave, an undertaking from the MECs and the Premier and all the municipalities that there shall be no disclaimers this year around. We shall go back with an assurance that says all the issues of the investigation of unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, wasteful expenditure have been addressed, and that all the relevant allegations, all the relevant reports have been properly investigated, and there have been consequences that will act as a deterrent for future misconduct, that those have been dealt with. We also need to live with an understanding that some of the concerns that have been raised in relation to political instability, infighting. Sometimes you hear there are places where there are two speakers. Maybe there are not two speakers, but it looks like there are. And that those issues have been dealt with, and that we will not face those as a basis of any form of irregularities or municipal governance instability. So I would like to be able to get to that point. So our visit here is not so much about those technical questions of what the Auditor General technically may have reported, because I've seen in some instances there are instances where there would be a dispute of whether the Auditor General's report was correct or not. But our issue is that we want to be able to solicit an undertaking from this provincial government and municipal leadership that issues of governance, dysfunctionality, financial mismanagement, allegations of corruption will be so addressed that there is a turnaround on the performance of the municipalities. Let me therefore say, with those words, we would like to take us forward. May I also say condolences to the Honorable MEC who have heard of the sad news of the family bereavement, Honorable Masenohi, Musenohi. Yes, condolences. But we would therefore like, at the end, Premier, we believe that you've got three spheres of government, but at the end of the day, they are one government. There has to be a set of accountability right across the three spheres. There has to be a sense of all of us taking responsibility for improvement of the services to our communities. We have this as a public discussion, and so the public would be following what we are doing. We believe it's important for the public to know that the whole of the national, provincial legislatures, the national and provincial executive, the local municipal councils, all of us are concerned with addressing issues of service delivery that plague them on a day-to-day basis. Wherever there are challenges, there should be a clear explanation, and at the end, they must not doubt our commitment towards improved and effective service delivery. With those words, I would like to therefore welcome you, Premier, to give us your address, and then of course we will ask the MECs to come in after that. You will manage it the way you wish. It's your team, so whatever who has to be delegated to say what, we accept that as your government, provincial government's input to us. Thank you very much, the Honourable. I see. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much. No, thank you very much for your concerns in terms of the reports from municipalities and after thorough assessment, your conclusive view. Subsequent to our engagement on that matter, municipalities were convened and we did communicate the unhappiness, and therefore municipalities were directed to be able to give that account and were also advised to give situational reports and a background so that the members must have a sense of what are they talking about. And we expect today municipalities to take us through that expectation and therefore also to resubmit as the chair has guided. Honorable Speaker of the Northwest Legislature, Dr. Desbo Mohono, the chair of the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance, and honorable members of the Portfolio Committee.
I'm sorry, Speaker. Sorry, Premier. There's just a slight logistical issue. We're going to place someone to stand behind you. Please don't feel disturbed. After you are done, we'll do a short break so that they can do a...
Percent of our whole province have access to drinking water. We have in this province more than 2 million people who have access to education. We are just slightly above 94% of our people who have access to electricity. Despite these important breakthroughs, municipalities in our province are confronted by a number of challenges. Is the sluggish economic engulfing our country. Our province is at the receiving end of this conundrum and municipalities have not been spared. This has led to high levels of unemployment, and as a result of this conundrum and municipalities have not been spared. This has led to high levels of unemployment, and as a result, which spans over 15 years since the platinum boom in 2009, having an adverse impact on our revenue collection, stifling our developmental trajectory. Compounding this, Chair, is the closure of several mining operations in the province, and in particular, and this has a spilling over effect to our labor-sending municipalities such as Ngaka Modiri Molema and Dr. Ruth Sukhumotsi Mompati. Moreover, Chair, mining companies such as Glencore and Samanco have indicated that they will be forced to issue Section 128 in their smelters operation due to high input costs and a decline in the ferrochrome prices. This will add to the already high number of unemployment in our province, currently standing at and hovering around 52%. The fact that the mining industry in our province has a multiplier effect contributing to various economic opportunities for locals, much to the benefit of our municipalities. Unfortunately, this is no longer the case. This has left many of our municipalities in dire strain, resulting in the growing number of indigents in our municipalities. More often than not, these challenges, coupled with the growing population, has made it difficult for the province, and in particular municipalities, to meet their developmental objectives. Earlier this year, we made an impassioned plea for our beloved country to have a broader consultative discussion on the need to review public sector funding, and in particular the Division of Revenue Act. We reiterate our stance that allocations must be centered on addressing developmental challenges confronting poor provinces such as ours based on their needs and not the population. Honorable members, this visit comes exactly 2 weeks after we launched phase 2 of the accelerated service delivery program known as Tunsale Role in this province. Through this initiative, we are visiting municipalities on a bi-weekly basis as Executive Council to assist them to address service delivery backlogs in our communities. We can report to this city that there is a semblance of improvement in our intervention measures, particularly in the rollout of infrastructure projects such as roads, water, and sanitation. The feedback we get from our residents is encouraging, but we believe we can do more. Honorable members, municipalities are a critical sphere of government due to their proximity to the citizens. Hence, this initiative of Tunsale Role, which we call Accelerated Service Delivery. Through this program, we seek to ensure that municipalities are accountable and provide residents with services in a sustainable manner. Our province has 18 local municipalities and 4 district municipalities. 2 of services in a sustainable manner. Our province has 18 local municipalities and 4 district municipalities. 2 of role as water service authorities. Challenges of water in districts remain a concern due to lack of investment in bulk desired result, and address this challenge. The Bujanala, local municipalities operate as water service authorities. Our municipalities are inundated with a number of challenges impeding their ability to inadequate revenue collection, unfunded budget, as well as unauthorized payment of creditors and parties. Of critical concern is the aging infrastructure, unreliable water sources, gated by law as the to support and strengthen the capacity of municipalities to manage their own affairs as they perform their The Executive Council continuously monitor and support the performance of local government through their and traditional affairs. These departments table regular reports in municipalities. Our provincial exco reps are appointed to municipalities wherein the Executive Council of the Northwest Province invoked Section 139 in municipalities. Our provincial exco reps are appointed to municipalities wherein the Executive Council of the Northwest Province invoked Section 139 recovery plans. The interventions commenced in 2023 in Madibeng local municipality, Khetleng local municipality, Ditsobotla local municipality, Ramotsere Moilwa local municipality, Tswayin local municipality, Naledi local municipality, and Dr. Ruth Sukhumotsi Mumpati district municipality. The Mahikeng local municipality is still to have an approved FRP. The interventions are anchored on 4 pillars, which are service delivery, financial management, institutional capacity, and governance. Our provincial exco reps are former accounting officers who were appointed after a rigorous Our provincial exco reps are former accounting officers who were appointed after a rigorous selection process, which also included vetting. Their responsibilities are detailed in the Extraordinary Gazette number 8501 of 23 May 2023. FRP activities are structured in 3 phases for a financial recovery. Honorable members, resulted in good progress. The Ramotsere Moilwa local municipality, after review, has been elevated to the sustainability phase. The municipality, a municipality program of the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure. Dr. Ruth Sukhumotsi Mumpati district municipality has been also elevated to the stabilization phase, whilst others continue to show moderate approach. Implementation of the financial recovery plans has experienced resistance to improved governance and criminality challenges, but we remain focused to make the program a success. Our law enforcement agencies have come on board to mitigate risk of loss of life and damage to infrastructure. To that extent, the provincial government, through MEC for Finance, has also appointed a political oversight committee to look into all these challenges. It is centered on ensuring the functionality of the technical war room and advisory committees on these matters as we interact with our municipalities. Our provincial exco representatives report it is centered on ensuring the functionality of the technical war room and advisory committees on these matters as we interact with our municipalities. Our provincial exco representatives report and traditional affairs. We also, through the Northwest Premiers Coordinating Council, the NWPCC, at both political and technical level, we continue and support. We have also completed the process of a one plan with a view to bring major development regulations and institutionalization of the new DDM. In instances where we have exhausted our support and capacity interventions, we have invoked Section 1391B, interventions of the Constitution to municipalities which are experiencing financial, governance, and institutional challenges which impinge negatively on service delivery. A case in point is the Tsobotla, Ratlou, and Lekwatemani municipalities due to disclaimers, audit opinions. In conclusion, Chair, definitely sure that their wisdom and constructive criticism will.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Premier. I think there's a problem with our sound. Can you just sort that out? It's getting better. Okay. Yes, I think. Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Premier, for your input. Gives us a sense of how things are in the province. Certainly, it will help us as we move along, understanding your municipalities. Before I proceed to the MECs, may I just request my colleagues, I wanted to give an opportunity for SCOPA, our colleagues from SCOPA, honorable members, just to make their comments, understanding, to give us their understanding and their expectations as we start. We'll also ask for the standing committee on the AG. I don't know who's going to help us with those comments. Yes, Honorable Spies.
Oh, thank you. My name is Gwenza Madlala from Scopa. Thank you, Chair, for the initial briefing. Our expectations would be largely aligned, particularly on issues of accountability, on performance issues, on ensuring that the people on the ground actually get the services that they are supposed to be getting. The people on the ground actually get the services that they are supposed to be getting. As a scope, I would go to the ground to actually see the issues, because on the ground at times does not match. But given the fact that this is a joint operation, we also believe that it is understood in the context that dishonesty would not be an acceptable practice. Some of us have been to the ground on different capacities, so we are aware of certain issues. Like the chair also mentioned, that some issues are even of media and in the public interest. So we would expect practical solutions, not rhetorical responses or nice to hear or sounding nice phrases, because our attitude also comes from a point where we say, what interventions can we deploy to assist the municipalities? So it's not a situation of us trying to catch the municipalities. But if we don't get an honest reflection of the reality, we will then live with a picture that everything is in order or is scheduled to be corrected. And if it is then not corrected, then our approach fundamentally changes when we move forward, because we would have then been misled and been made to believe that there are things and processes in place. So we do hope for a fruitful engagement, an honest engagement, a robust engagement. Our attitude at SCOPA slightly differs in some instances than other committees. We are not we are not as kind as other committees. So we take a more of a radical approach to issues, and it is in good faith. It is in good spirit. If we bluff each other in this room, we can assure that there will be no progress on the ground. So we must be as hard as possible with an intention of building. Whenever you are building, it is nails, hammers. You don't build a house on marshmallows or soft sand. So that's just my comments, unless if anyone wants to make an additional input. But we are looking forward to constructive, honest engagements. Dishonesty we will not tolerate. We do have information. We expect that it must be met with facts from officials. Thank you.
Thank you so much. To the members of the province and the municipalities present here today, good morning, first of all. As a standing committee on the Auditor General, our role on this joint oversight meeting with COCTA and SCOPA is first and foremost as a committee, standing committee, to support the Auditor General, which will allow then the Auditor General obviously to fulfill and execute its duties. And for us it's important that we foster positive relationships between the AG and you, the auditees. And our goal is obviously to improve the performance of both the AG and your municipality. And poor financial statement quality. And as we engage with you today and the days to follow, we want to emphasize our intention to understand your challenges that you are facing and to provide support to both yourselves, to the AG and every other committee present here. And so our belief is that we want to work together in a spirit of cooperation and mutual support so that we can enhance your municipality's ability to deliver activities. We are committed to listening. We want to learn and we want to provide guidance when needed. And accountability to us is very important. So ours is of positive criticism. Yes, we will be interrogating you by the questions we're asking, but not with the aim to blame. So let's work together to find solutions, to address the challenges and to build a much better future for our communities. I thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. I do assume that the municipalities are here. I just think for ease of my own sense of comfort, could we ask the first municipality to come and sit on the front row there? In terms of our arrangement, which was supposed to be miking, let's have the delegation to come and take the seat in the front. Yeah. Just check. Okay, thank you very much. At this point, let me invite the MEC for Kokta, MEC Mulapisi. You are on the floor. Can we pass the mic?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, Dr. Mkize. Let me also take the Premier, honorable members, and let me stand on the established protocol. Chair, let me indicate that since the start of the 7th administration, critical focus has been on getting our municipality to deliver on their mandate. We conducted together with MEC of Finance a roadshow to all our municipality to assess them on the 6 pillars of back to basics. It is my duty today to provide you with a frank and honest assessment of the state of our municipal council. And I must say our presentations tells a tale of 2 parallel realities, one of commendable progress or recognized progress attention. And we appreciate and welcome the joint oversight meeting as a way of strengthening our intervention and giving impetus to the 10 around strategies to achieve ideal municipalities, particularly addressing persistent findings by the AG. And in this regard, we have responded to all the questions directed to us as it was indicated by the chairperson. We have also shared the copy of our presentation, and a detailed report is contained in them. Chairperson, as it would be illustrated later by my colleague MEC Mosenogi, currently 8 of 22 municipalities are under my mandatory intervention in terms of Section 1395 due to poor financial management, and the Provincial Treasury has intervened. We acknowledge the progress made through the efforts of many dedicated men and women across various spheres of government. Notably, most municipalities now enjoy political stability, which has enabled consistent statutory meetings and improved compliance reporting. 60% of our Municipal Public Accounts Committee are functional and encouraging steps for oversight and accountability. However, these gains are undermined by the unsustainable growth of unauthorized, irregular, and fruitless and wasteful expenditure. On water debt, intervention led by the Premier and as initiated by Minister Majodina, we have been enable our municipalities to pay 86 million to water boards, such as Magales Water, between April and June 2025. Financial discipline remains critical to safeguarding sustainable water service for our communities. Dealing with issues of municipal infrastructure grant, in 2023-2024 financial year, the MIG grant expenditure reached 97% in just 8 months. In 24-25, this improved to 99%. The highest in 6 years, demonstrating steady progress in grant utilization. By June 2025, funds were effectively deployed across social infrastructure projects. Number of projects were 52, and over 240 million was spent. Road and stormwater, number of projects were about 111, and over 837 million was spent. On waste facilities, number of projects were 8, and over 80 million was spent. Water and sanitation, number of projects were 57, and over 882 million was spent. And economic infrastructure, there were about 5 projects and over 7 million was spent. This mid-year review highlights our commitment to community development and sound financial management through collaboration with SALGA. Great progress is registered on the utilization of available grants. We have looked into the institutional capacity of our municipalities. And I must indicate that based on municipal organogram, there are about a total of 148 senior management posts across our municipalities currently. 107 of these posts are filled, representing 72%, while 41 posts remain vacant, which is 28% of the filled position. 30 are occupied by women, making it up to 28% of senior managers. These positions include 3 municipal managers, 5 CFOs, 4 directors of technical services and 4 directors of corporate services and 3 directors of planning, 5 directors of community services and 6 in other senior management posts. We have implored the committee to note the slide detailing district breakdown for the sake of managing time as allocated to us. So if you look into the slide, you would realize the detail per district and per municipality in terms of the filling of the vacant posts and those that are vacant. We must also acknowledge